Hi YouTubers! Today I'm doing a video on my orchids. So on the last video I gave you guys an update on all the different orchids that I have, and I can't remember if this one on the left here, I'm going to zoom in on that. That is a phal that I've had for a couple of years, and here it is in flower. Isn't that beautiful? It's not the most prolific flowerer. We have just two little flowers on there, but boy, it's a beauty. Keep in mind that where I'm growing, the environment that these orchids are growing in is not even close to their native habitat where they would really thrive in a tropical, rainforest-like environment with, a big canopy and filtered sun and high heat and high humidity. This is not a kitchen in New England. And I mean, it's just not the jungle. It's a kitchen in New England. And what do we have in a kitchen in New England? Well, we have filtered light. This is a southern window, shaded by that dogwood tree out there. So they get filtered light. It's pretty high light. It's not real high light. I would call it filtered. It's always about 70-ish in here, so not real high temps. It fluctuates. In the winter, it gets a lot colder. Nighttime temperatures probably go down into the 60s, but not really lower than that. Which I think is why my Dendrobiums, my Cattleyas have not flowered yet. I probably should start, if I want them to flower, give them some cooler nighttime temperatures, and that might really kickstart them into flower. And I may do that at some point. And believe you me, as soon as those flowers, because I have no idea what they're going to look like. It's going to be a complete surprise, so I definitely will share that with you guys. So we'll look at this little one. This is the little one in this beautiful little pot that my husband had brought me home from the grocery store, oh my God, several months ago now. When it first came home, the colors were really vibrant and beautiful. It's still in flower, but you can tell it's starting to wane. It's starting to lose its, punch. There's one in the back here that's really starting to wilt. The plant itself is doing really good. Everything is dried out. Everything needs water. Remember this one with the fingers? That's the one. You can see how dried out everything is. So today is the day I'm going to give everything a really good soak and a really good feed. This one right here is not happy at all. Now this is the one that had those beautiful big flowers on it, the big purple flowers, and you can see that they're all done. The flower spike is dead, that needs to be cut off, and I'm going to do that today. I think I'm going to take it out of the pot and see what's going on. What I suspect is root rot, and the reason being is you can see it's in the ceramic container, but it's also inside a plastic pot there, and that really is a bad way to grow orchids. It really is. I know that, but I thought this pot was so pretty, I just kind of left it in that pot. So why do they do better in clay pots? Well, clay pots do a couple things. One is they retain moisture, but they also kind of breathe. The clay is actually porous, and they will draw that moisture through the clay and out, and it actually evaporates out. And that's why you see some, mossy type algae out here. Look at the roots coming out here. Isn't that amazing? That's another reason why orchids like clay pots. They don't do this to plastic, but they can literally grab onto the clay and they can get moisture out of the clay, and they can, attach it to their roots to the clay. So clay pots are definitely better. These are specific to orchids. They have holes around the sides. Here's another one. They're not loaded with holes, but it's enough to let some air in. And as long as you let these pots dry out, and in the summertime, I'm only watering once a week or maybe even every 14 days. Like these are beyond a week now. I'd say these are probably at a week and a half, and they're definitely ready for a good soak. So I just wanted to do a quick little update and especially show you this one. Now I just think that's so beautiful. You know, if I was in Hawaii, these plants would just be flourishing and I'd have these huge flower spikes, you know, with 20 different flowers on each spike. I mean, I've seen videos. People have beautiful, beautiful orchids in perfect growing conditions. And you know what? Not all of us have that, and that's okay. Here's an example of how you can have orchids in suboptimal conditions in New England with not the best conditions, but look at the beauty. I mean, this just brings joy to me. When I start to see those little buds come out, it really does make me happy. You know, other orchid growers would look at my sad little plants and be like, oh my God, those don't look so good. And again, you know, it has to do with the environment. But you know what? These flowers bring me joy, and they are what they are. They may not be the best or the biggest. I mean, this guy I think is doing really well. He's a pretty happy orchid. The Dendrobium here has just been putting up, you know, more and more shoots. It seems to be a happy plant. The leaves are a little darker than I'd like. I think if it had a little bit more light, it would do better. This one again, I think has some root issues. And let's go down here to the Cattleya. Now this thing I keep in my front hall on the same southern windowsill, also shaded by the dogwood tree. And let's take a look at what we got. We've got some decent looking roots coming out the top, and some new shoots coming up. You can see we have a little bit of sun damage. Is that what we're talking about here? Let me see, does that wipe off? No, that's just a little bit of bark, so that actually looks really good. Now these wrinkles here, these, if you remember, these were those Cattleya couple. I had two stems, right? Two little plants. They had barely any roots at all, these little nubbins, and I used the method from Ed in the UK of leaving them on top of the bark and all that. You can watch my previous videos and learn all about what I did. But anyway, his method really worked well, and now, I mean, it's just, we have 3 plants instead of 2, so what does that tell you? It's very happy. We've got plenty of roots now. Let's see if we can see any down below, if there's any poking out. This actually isn't as dry as I thought it was, and I can actually pick it up and just feel that there's still moisture in there. So I actually may let this one go a few more days. And that's a good rule of thumb with orchids. When you're in doubt, err on the side of dryness instead of wetness. You're always better off that way. If you're unsure, like, see, we can see moisture in there, can't we? Look at that. So there you go, a tiny little bit of moisture. That's telling me this isn't ready. This does not need to be watered yet. It's better to give it a couple more days, let it completely dry out, and then give it a good soak. And why do we do it that way? Well, if we don't, if we keep this bark and the substrate in here wet and damp, the bark starts to break down, the pH in here changes, it becomes very acidic. And do roots like that? No, they do not. They just start to turn dark and black and mushy, and they will very quickly just rot right away. And I think that's what's happening to the one up here, because look at the leaves. They're just so droopy. Even still though, let's zoom in. Oh, I thought that was a new leaf. Nope, that's a leaf that I had cut. So yeah, it's got the window painting, they call it, I think, where the sun has burnt right through the leaf. So it's not a happy camper. So we'll figure out what's going on with her. And we'll let this guy go a couple more days. And maybe in a couple weeks or so, I'll start getting these 2 to flower, the Cattleya and the Dendrobium. I think I'll lower the nighttime temps and see if we can get them to send up some spikes. Well, who knows? We'll see what happens. This may be too young. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I think I'll read up on it some more too. I'm not an expert with these. These are my very first Cattleyas and Dendrobiums. Never grown them before, so you're just coming along on the ride with me to see what happens. This is a nice, healthy, stiff leaf right here. So it's definitely getting enough water and light. It looks like a happy plant overall. So I just wanted to give you guys that little update. These aren't all the orchids. I have about 4 more in another window, but there's nothing to look at there. They're not in flower. They're just, you know, recovering from issues, and maybe I'll add them into the next one. But I wanted to show you the windowsill here and show you what's going on. Oh, and my Vanda is done flowering, and the roots are really doing good, and the plant itself does not look as happy as I'd like it to be. And I'm wondering if I should move it outside onto my deck, and it's been so hot and humid, it probably would like it out there, so I might do that too. But anyway, my orchid lovers, I hope your flowers are bringing you joy, and hope you're enjoying growing, and hope you enjoyed my flowers for today, and I will keep you updated. Until next time, happy growing!